There we go. Okay, live and so Dylan, what episode are we at this week?
This is 38.
38, yeah. 38. We kind of had a 2-year gap in the show. First was because Dylan got sick.
Yes, 2 years.
We kind of had a 2. Yeah, sorry if there's a little bit of an echo.
It's okay. But yeah.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is mute the video on YouTube. That's all.
I did. Yeah. I'm a dumbass. Okay, I fixed it. Okay, so yeah, we got we had a 2-week gap. The first week was because Dylan got sick and just was not in a position, just had no energy to do it.
And then actual Christmas happened, so
yeah, yeah. Like, what are you gonna do at that point? I can't. I mean, if it was Christmas Eve on a Monday,
yeah.
Like, who's gonna show up? Who's gonna show up on that? By the way, I just put the link in the Discord.
I saw, yeah.
But yeah. How was Christmas for you, Dylan?
Real good. I actually asked for clothes, a very specific type of clothes. And of course I got it. I used to walk my dog Pepper at night and stuff without correct clothing, like light colored things.
Mm-hmm.
And while not with my dog, I got run over. So I stopped doing that for a while. And now I have a really nice gray hoodie and a really nice white, like, not winter jacket, but cold weather coat. So I can go out at night.
Biogun just hit us up in the Discord asking for the link. I think he went. Why would you let him in?
I mean, hold on.
But yeah, so you got bright colored clothing specifically.
Yeah, I got that specifically. I got new headphones that I'm wearing right now.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm sort of just waiting on some cash from my dad and stepmom. That was the first Christmas I kind of really spent by myself, just because like all my family's out of state, and like if I was gonna spend Christmas with my family, I'd have to go all the way to Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just say it just was not in the cards either to fly to Ohio or drive. So I just sort of had to. I just kind of had to just stay at home, because I hadn't really hit up anyone else any of my friends in the area to see if they had room. So it wasn't all bad. I mean, like, I did call them up and see how they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
I did spend the latter part of Christmas streaming with my friends Matt and Tank. So wasn't all bad.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, but considering that this is like actually, another thing I want to bring up is that somehow, by sheer luck, I've had both Christmas and New Year's. Yeah, I was gonna say I've had Christmas and New Year's both that happen on my days off.
I mean, that is cool.
Yeah, it's just like, fuck, that's awesome.
Good timing indeed. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, yeah, and so like I at least get to enjoy myself for the holidays. But yeah, also considering that this is sort of the New Year's show, kind of apropos we sort of look back on the year and just sort of reflect and kind of see where we started out and where we've ended up at, and I guess what we sort of hope is going to happen next year.
No, never. I never look back.
Never.
No, I'm not nostalgic. I don't care about the past. The past is shit.
He said, "Dude, I saw your shirt before we started the show. You've got a '90s Nickelodeon shirt."
No.
Dylan's lying. He's totally nostalgic. That's why he wears a shirt that has Ren and Stimpy on it.
It's not Ren and Stimpy. And also, Ren and Stimpy was not Nickelodeon.
Yeah, they were.
I don't think so.
Yes, they were. Ren and Stimpy was one of the first Nicktoons.
Oh, God. Nicktoons went downhill. Nicktoons went downhill hard.
Yeah, but they were really good when they started. Or at least a lot of them were really different. Right? I mean, like, and although I kind of missed out on a lot of them just because I did not have cable growing up. It's like, although I'm not exactly sure Ren and Stimpy would have been the sort of cartoon my parents would have let me watch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I probably would have liked it, but it's like they would have taken a look at just like how vulgar that show was, and it would have been like, yeah, no, you're not watching this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my parents had issues with The Simpsons, since for more or less the same reason. I mean, actually, was there anything you weren't allowed to watch growing up?
I mean, outside of the very obvious stuff, not really.
So I put it this way, your parents would have been okay with you watching South Park at a young age.
Dude, I did watch South Park at a young age. So yes.
I have to wonder. I mean, like I hear a lot of people say that South Park is not as good as it used to be.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that Trey and Matt just have kind of lost interest in it. Seems like they're kind of more interested in doing everything else that isn't South Park related these days. You kind of feeling that vibe?
Yeah, I can.
I mean, they do definitely seem like they're a lot less involved with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yo.
Hey, Bio.
Yeah, hi. I'm on my iPad now because like my younger brother's in the lounge, so unless you want to hear him asking questions or in the back as background noise, so I just figured this would be a better alternative.
That's all right. But yeah, getting back to the original topic, Dylan. Now that Bio's in. I can kind of say I started out 2018 in not the best way because I got fired from my job. Although the funny thing was the circumstances I got fired under.
Let me guess, you got accused of like some sort of hate crime or sexual harassment?
No.
Oh.
No. Thank God, no. Okay, so what I was working at the time was a warehouse job out in Sumner. Unfortunately, this particular warehouse, they had been managing the account really badly. Or rather, the people hired were just doing such a bad job that the client just had zero faith in the team. Like that, no kidding. There was a morning meeting we started with, where they actually said, client has no faith in us. We're the worst rated team in the company.
Oh, that's great for morale, man. You guys suck, and everyone knows it.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Make us money.
Yeah. Now, I'd sort of gotten the job through a job placement agency, and I think that's kind of why a lot of people just didn't really have any motivation to try, because if they got fired, agency will get me another job, which was kind of what happened to me. So what happened was like in January, I think like after New Year's, I get a phone call from the on-site rep there saying, yeah, don't come into work. Apparently you're unsafe, even though like I had never gotten myself or anyone else injured the whole time I was there.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of spent like about a month and a half jobless, and that put me
That's
behind.
got to be fun.
I'm just glad my landlord was willing to be gracious to me and not kick me out and I got behind on my rent, but it could have been a lot worse. So I did manage to find another warehouse job out in Sumner again. But I'm trying to remember what the problem was. Now I remember I ran into another girl who used to work at the same site I was at.
Oh, this is fun.
And she told me she got kicked out. She got let go for having a bad attitude, quote unquote.
This sounds like a toxic work environment.
Well,
people who don't care, people who been told they don't care, and...
Well, actually, apparently they were looking for just any reasons to let people go.
Sounds like it.
I mean, it sounds like that place was shutting down. They're like, we can't just make these people think that they did okay.
Well, it's more like they couldn't just... Well, let me put it this way. If they couldn't come up with a reason to let us go, then they would have been forced to pay unemployment. So they basically had to pull reasons out of their ass just so they could avoid having to pay for unemployment.
What was your reason?
Like I said, I told you that apparently I was unsafe.
Okay.
Even though, like I said, the whole time I'd been there, I'd never gotten myself or anyone else injured.
I just love that. You haven't got anyone injured. You're too safe. That's risky.
You're the most unsafe because we don't know when you'll snap.
Honestly, I think the closest they came to was this time I sort of was, because like there was like this one time I was having to outrun one of the it's kind of like a forklift. It's kind of like an elevator on wheels. I forget what it's called.
Forklift?
It wasn't just a forklift. No, it wasn't a fork. No. It was kind of like a...
Are they I think I might have seen them before. Are they like things that truckers use when they're like putting their shit on trucks?
I don't think so. This thing it's not like a forklift. It's basically an elevator on wheels.
I think I might have seen those, but I'm gonna need like a picture. You can just post it later in Discord.
If I had the name, I would. I just can't remember what it's called. All I remember is that you had to wear a harness to work on this thing.
Yeah, it's definitely not what I'm thinking of then.
Yeah, if someone knows the name, please, you can post it in the chat. But yeah, it's not coming to me. There was one time where I was trying to outrun one of these things down one of the lanes, and I basically I was kind of trapped, and I sort of had to duck under the steel to sort of avoid it. That was about, I think, but like I said, that was more or less as close as I got to being unsafe, quote unquote.
And even then, to say that you're unsafe means that you specifically are manning machines and other stuff in an unsafe manner, not that something happened to you that was unsafe.
Yeah, I mean, you probably could make a case, but like I said, I hadn't gotten injured, and neither had anyone else. And it's like I tried.
No, you can't really make a case on that because someone else was being unsafe and wasn't properly warning people about the thing.
Well, he did. Well, he was warning me because I didn't notice him coming. Those things. and they're supposed to honk the horns, and I think he did. But like I said, I think that was, like I said, they were basically pulling reasons out of their asses to get rid of people.
Yeah, that's really great when you go to your next job and it's just like, oh, why were you fired? Because I was unsafe. It's just like, are there any incident reports? Nope. Okay.
Pretty something like that. But yeah.
Well, then you have to explain, what do you mean there's no incident reports?
Yeah.
You know?
In New Zealand, usually if you've done something like that, usually they write up like reports.
Mm-hmm. I know that, but what I mean is like, but then he would have to explain to the guy why there aren't any incident reports, which is an easy explanation, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, like I
Yeah,
said,
but usually in New Zealand, if you're being fired, like usually they will take their boss's word for it, but they will want some paperwork about it as well.
Yeah. But yeah, that was pretty much the long and short of it. I got the assignment was going under, and they just had to look for reasons to get rid of people. It's probably the first time I got fired from my job, and it wasn't really my fault.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been fired. They just don't need me. That's basically it. Because either I was too good or they had too much help at the time, and I just kind of like was doing my own thing at the time. So it's just like whatever.
And being fired is not fun. I can tell you that much. It's like I said, the time I spent unemployed there though was nothing compared to the first year I was living out in Washington, because I am not kidding. I came within a month's rent of being homeless before I finally got a job.
I'm surprised you went on the street, but I guess
I was stretching my tax refund basically to have food and pay my rent.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah. 4 months. That was it. But yeah, like I got lucky. It's just like at the last minute. Oh my god, I dodged the bullet.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this was how 2018 started out for me, and I started a new warehouse job, and it was helping me sort of get back on my feet, get caught up on my rent. Although I was having to work my ass off pretty much. But after a while, I started seeing the writing on the wall, and I'm looking at what I'm paying, because the job is all the way out in Sumner. It's a pretty far drive from where I'm at. Like,
why are these things not dying? What the hell?
I think the best way I can put it is from what I was paying in gas, I was like having to gas up like every week. And I was paying like $50. I mean, like it basically cost me about $50 to gas my van up. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, this is not. And with the time I had to get up at like I just started like I think 4 or 6 in the morning. I think it was 6 in the morning. And I think shift ended at 4 p.m. And I'm just thinking to myself, this is just not worth it. So I ended up having to go back to my old job, which is retail, which is about 15 minutes away from where I live.
I've heard retail is really bad.
It was not fun in the middle of Christmas, but you know what? At least it's kind of.
I have to agree with the retail thing, where outside Christmas, it's not bad. Like, not as bad as people say it is. Like, the reason a lot of people in my mind say that it's so soul crushing is that they wanted badly, really, really badly, to do something else, and they just can't. At least not yet. So that just makes it.
I wouldn't be able to do retail. I've got Asperger's, and I hate interacting with people majority of the time.
No, yeah, there are definitely medical reasons why retail might not be the best option for somebody, but I'm speaking just on a general sense that usually I find that people don't like retail because it's just not the right environment for them to be happy when they wanted to do something usually drastically different. I knew a guy that worked a cash register, and he's like, who wanted to be in this like be part of this like skating thing, and I'm like, why didn't you? And he's like, because I busted my shin practicing one day, and I literally can't anymore. So when you couple the monotony of retail with a crushing defeat like that, where you're not gonna get to do what you want to do, not for a long time, you know,
if ever.
if ever, it just makes it just makes it that much worse.
Yeah, well, if you're a social person, I think retail is fine, but if you're not a social person, it is like hell because you have to interact with people
Yeah, well, the
that
job I have,
you don't want to interact with. You're kind of
the job
forced
I
into
have,
it.
the job I have in retail is unloading trucks, so I don't have to interact with people as much as some of the salespeople,
Oh, thank God.
people who work on the registers. Like my job is mostly just unloading the trucks and then stocking the shelves. I have to if I'm stocking, I got to interact with some people to a degree, but yeah, I'm not as much as the sales or register people.
Yeah, because I used to work at the Salvation Army, but now I work at the SPCA because they just couldn't keep up with my work output, so
God damn. That's I don't know if I should be impressed or not.
well, they gave me one task and I do it very well. It just happens that well, half the time what was happening is half the time I'd just be lazing around because I'd already finished the job they'd given me, and they had to come up with things to give me in order to justify me staying there longer, or to justify me staying for my shift hours. Because on a regular day I'd be done within an hour. On a busy day I'd be done in 2 hours, and I'd have an hour left before I go home.
Wow. It's like, dude, that's just insane. Yeah. But yeah, that was.
It's people with Asperger's, some of them have something which is called hyperfocus. And essentially what I can do is I can just focus on a task like no one's business. I can just hyperfocus and that'll be the only thing I do. And then I do it amazingly.
Yeah, no, my brother's got it. I don't know if he's got the hyper focus part of it. All I can say is I think my brother can do it, but he has to be interested in it first. If my brother's got no interest in it, he's not really gonna apply himself.
Yeah, well, I can hyperfocus. It's relatively easy for me.
Yeah.
As long as I choose. Yeah. Essentially, they just couldn't put up with my work ethic, work output, and eventually they had more people, so there wasn't no point of having me over. So now I work at the SPCA, where it's exactly the same thing, where I'm pretty much done most of my work, and then I get to play with dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's busy, then I don't. But majority of the time, I usually have I just do what I need to do done, and then when that's done, I just chill with dogs for a couple of hours.
Like right now.
I'm not at work. I don't have work until Wednesday.
No, I just heard dogs in the background barking.
Yeah, that's not me.
Was that you, Dylan?
Of course.
Remember, as Trish, he stole dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, what I was gonna get into was how harrowing this year was for me, kind of work wise, just because I pretty much had to sacrifice giving up a whole lot of free time so I could get caught up on my rent. Like I basically spent my whole summer working overtime at work so that I could get caught up, and I don't think I got rid of it all till September. Oh god, did it feel good to finally have my rent finally paid off by then, though.
I'm surprised your landlord wasn't making you pay off your body, but
My landlord is a very good guy. He was. I think it's just because I've always turned in my rent on time, and if I had an issue, I made sure he knew about it firsthand.
oh, he must really like you then.
He does. He does. Definitely.
Does he show up like with the top hat and the monocle and comes in once a week or once a month and says like, "Pay the rent, you must pay the rent."
Where the fuck is that from, anyway?
I have no idea, but if I ever become a landlord, I am literally going to go get my money straight from them, and I'm going to walk in to my house and ask for rent, and I'm going to wear a top hat and have a monocle.
All right,
It
then.
may be illegal, but fuck you, I'm going to do it.
A monocle's illegal.
No, no, just like no, in New Zealand, if you're the landlord of a property, you have to give them like heads up that you're coming.
Oh.
So I can't just burst in on a weekly basis demanding rent.
Give me money. Please stop.
No, I've always wanted to do is like dress up in a top hat and a fancy suit and have like a bag with dollar signs, and I come in singing "Time to pay the rent,"
Nice.
and then I have like a bunch of goons outside in case they don't pay the rent.
Oh god, that's funny.
I'd probably get arrested. Just
Oh my god, that's hilarious. But yeah, no, yeah, I pretty much spent the entire first half of 2018 just paying off my back rent. But it was, but on the upside, 2018 was kind of when I got the ball rolling on the werewolf campaign.
Are you telling me that like this entire werewolf campaign is based on your landlord? Is that he's going to be the final boss?
No. What?
Why? That's lame. No, I mean, come on. I mean, I did not only it wasn't bad enough though that I was kind of jobless at the start out. I also had my old laptop die on me.
Hey, Walks of Wind is jobless and he does perfectly fine.
Yeah, but he's also an animal.
Exactly.
He's part animal.
No, he's an animal.
Well,
It's not part.
he is a lupus.
Yeah.
Hey, a lupus with 3 in intelligence.
There's another storyteller that I game with and stuff, Hybris, that says this all the time, and to an extent he's right. I won't deny it, but your breed defines a shit ton of what you are and how you should think. If that wasn't there, then there wouldn't be the different breeds.
You're probably right about
Yeah, exactly.
that. How you doing, Brez?
I'm doing math.
Yeah, I mean, it is good. I already knew this, but it's good to know that your dad is better.
Oh, yep. They're watching a movie at the moment.
Yeah, did he enjoy the cake?
Yeah, he did.
Good.
We're kind of theme of this week is reflecting on 2018.
Okay. What did anything major I did 2018? I actually got involved in the light novel podcast.
What was that?
It's like a podcast group I'm part of. Like there was this YouTuber I watched, and he was like asking for like random people to be in this podcast with him, like try and get a team together. So I like sent in a recording, and then like if he liked your recording, he'll do like an interview with you, and then eventually you become part of the team. And essentially I did. And we've been doing it for nearly like a year. Like we'll have a year anniversary, I think, in May, I think.
Wow, that's
Or
awesome.
That is good.
yeah, we talk about like we talk about anime, manga, generally light novels.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think I've linked a couple of episodes in like the live stream chat, I think.
You
What a
might
message.
have.
I might have missed him. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually a pretty big deal. But yeah, I mean, like, when
Yeah,
I
we're
was
the only light novel podcast so far, so we have the monopoly. And people say like, "Oh, this is the best light novel podcast ever," and I say to them, "Well, we're the only at the moment, so of course we're the best. There's
the
no
only
contest."
the only you know of. But yeah, I spent.
All right, you ready, Brent? We got to beat their competition.
I don't read enough light novels. I could probably put my buddy Sam to it though.
Well, I mean, I mean, I read all the Naruto light novels, but
Close enough.
What?
Yeah, well,
I
I've watched
do
over
have
like
one thing.
I've watched over like 800 animes and read a shit ton of manga and light novels and stuff. So like, we like the interview was supposed to be for like 30 minutes. I made it last for an hour or two.
God,
nice.
Nice. So I do have two things I'm proud of.
All
I'm
right.
happy about this year. First of all, work has been going really well.
that is awesome. You moving up?
Not really, but everyone seems to appreciate what I'm doing.
Well, you should, dude. If you
I
can
mean-
move up, you should try and see if you can move up in your job.
I mean,
That would
I've only been
require
there for
some.
half a year.
Say what?
He's only
I've
been
only
there for half a year.
Half a year.
Well, like put it on your list at some point for night for. There's something to put on your resolutions for 2019. Move up at work.
Yeah.
But
Promotions.
move up, I would prefer to move sideways to gas station, but either way, they appreciate what I'm doing. If I'm gonna move up any higher, I need to get a degree, is the thing. Because I work in a grocery store.
I don't think they require a degree to do. Do they have like department managers?
Yeah, but they have a strict policy, our store manager does, of only people with degrees as managers.
I guess
Yeah,
the one.
and your manager also requires you to end quote, and I'm quoting you, show up the day after a hurricane to help clean up.
Yeah, it's
Any
in the
damage.
employee manual.
Yeah, it's in the
Something you
employee
have to do.
manual of all places.
Yep.
Place I work.
Um,
We'll name the place I work at, but let's just say they're not a degree is not exactly required.
yeah. I mean, most of what I do is cleaning and helping customers, but I'm content with it. It's nice.
Like are hurricanes even like a thing in Georgia?
Yeah, they are actually.
Mhm.
All right then. Well, at least the weather phenomena
Dude.
matches up.
I can tell you that because, dude, I lived in Florida. That's like literally south of Georgia, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's right smack in the area for hurricanes.
I don't care. I'm from the other coast.
Yeah, we're from the you and I
We're from the good coast.
the best coast.
Do you have the Smithsonian though?
We don't need it. We have
Yes.
I have Mount Rainier. I have the Space Needle.
I don't need it. I don't need it.
What do you have, Dylan?
Good typhoon.
But
I live near a beach. That's what I have.
I'd like to say the one thing I'm most proud of this year.
All right.
You said there was two things, Bridge. What was the other?
Well, the first was work.
What was the other one?
He has to talk
Yeah,
to
it-
details real quick.
Okay, well, yeah, I was gonna get on to the fact, like, yeah, I had my laptop die on me earlier this year. Not only that, I also I probably spent like a weekend in January with probably the worst flu I've ever had in my life. My body was so weak and ravaged, I'd not even have the strength to eat anything.
I've had a flu like that once back when I was like 8. And then for the longest time, I just didn't get sick anymore. But when that happened, I actually had like to go to the hospital and shit, and like because I just couldn't eat.
I did not have to go to the hospital, but it's like I just couldn't have muster the strength up to eat food at all. I just didn't. I didn't even have any strength to like. I was stuck on the couch in my living room. I didn't have any strength to get up.
Yeah, for 2 days, I was in a hospital bed, and then after that, I was just basically drinking smoothies for food because I couldn't chew.
I can hear you, Briz.
Okay. Real quick, the thing I'm most proud of this year and happiest about is meeting all my friends.
That's a good thing. Good thing to be proud of. Yeah.
I'm just glad none of my friends left already. I swear. I have very, very bad luck with friends. I think because in the friend group I have, as large as it is, the longest lasting one.
And are you talking about online or in real life?
Online, I have no real friends, so online. No, just for me to actually be serious, if I say I have no real friends. No, all my friends are online, and they're all real friends, at least in my eyes. But I have terrible, terrible luck with keeping friends. And excluding Sen, if memory serves and stuff, just with the how in the order I met people, like you would be the next oldest friend in my friend group.
Damn.
Brett. Yeah.
Damn, that's amazing.
Not by a whole lot, granted, but yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I was, January. You guys probably noticed. I don't know if you guys noticed on Twitter or in Discord that I now changed my nickname to show that I don't like January.
So, other than when you got sick and the fact that it was in January, are there any other reasons?
I guess my laptop died. So, lose a job, lose my laptop, and get super sick. All happens in January, and I don't know what it is, but it's like ever since 2011, anytime something bad happens to me, it's got it always has one common denominator. It happens in motherfucking January.
You're like Garfield on his Mondays.
Yeah, but because yours is so much less frequent, it's infinite. It's just so much more. It's just so much more worse. Like Garfield gets harassed by a dog.
Why the fuck does he hate? Why the fuck does Garfield hate Mondays? He doesn't work. He doesn't do anything.
Because everyone that he likes to boss around is gone because it's a work day.
Oh, so just because John isn't there.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't like Mondays, because he doesn't get to be the lazy ass cat that gets fed 9 courses of lasagna. It's cut down because John's working.
He still has Odie to kick around.
You don't know. Hey, John could work somewhere where you're allowed to bring a pet, so he brings Odie with him.
Please help.
What?
My screen's doing a weird thing.
What thing?
It's cutting to black every couple seconds.
What's your charge?
7%.
You better plug it back in.
Well, here's the thing. It's never done this before.
Isn't this
how old is your phone?
Like a year.
Isn't this the phone that you threw onto like the pavement when you got angry like 2 months ago?
Yes.
How is that thing still functional?
That's probably why.
Otterbox, baby.
Yeah.
That explains one thing. I don't know, Briz. I'd get that thing first. I'd get that thing charged up.
Yeah, charge it up. Then, like, as soon as you can, I understand if you can't immediately, but as soon as you can, you should have the thing looked at.
Yeah.
Hopefully you get like insurance or a warranty on that you can.
Yeah, like you should be able to sell with your SIM card, and so I seriously doubt you'll lose, contacts and things.
I'm just saying. Hopefully it's like his plan's got insurance that his carrier can just replace it.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Mm. Ow.
Definitely get that thing charged though. Where was I go? Yeah, but yeah, I was gonna say.
7 hours.
I was gonna say though, I would love to be able to go into a month-long coma and just skip January. I hate January so much.
Mm.
But you know what? All things considered, though, things for all the crap I got thrown at the start of 2018, I think I actually did manage to make something out of the year. Because for one, this was the year I started the werewolf campaign.
And this was also the year where you deleted half of it.
By accident.
Not half
I
of
know,
it.
but that's
not half of it. He deleted
a month.
He deleted 4 videos of it and then a bunch of other things on his channel that weren't that.
It was a month's worth of videos that ended up getting deleted by accident.
I know. I think that's still funny because I was looking for these videos. I was just wondering, where's part 1? Where's part 2 of this? And why are we now up to session 5 when there's only like sessions 1 and 2?
And you're like, oh.
And then I dropped the video.
And then I was like, oh. And then I'm like, oh wait, these guys don't have a fee urge. I want to join in.
Yeah, like the saddest part was literally all of my backstory was lost because it was the day after the final episode of that got uploaded was when that happened.
Yeah, I'm still trying to upload that fucking side story of Country Wolf in the Big City. For some reason, like I've still got the audio, so I might have to do it from scratch. But
Country Wolf in the Big City, say what?
It was the one where we did that side quest where you took Walks with the Wind on a tour of Seattle.
Oh, that. Yeah, so I realized, okay, so for everyone who knows and not knows, you know, obviously we talk about the server all the time. On the server, we had a bot called Craig. No, we had Clyde. It was Clyde. I thought we had Clydebot, and then, well, whatever. This thing Clyde that nobody knew who it was left the server yesterday. And if it's somebody, then who cares? But I was checking through the bots, and we're missing a bot. We're just straight up missing a bot for some reason.
Apparently the worm ate it, so we're gonna have to go on an Umbra quest.
How does a bot just disappear from a server? I think when you had to physically delete it yourself.
I would assume that, or it wasn't used in X amount of time, therefore it uninstalled itself, I guess, which was why Craig left.
But we haven't used the Fred bot in a long time, and it's still there.
I feel like that's because that's music. Like, because the bot that, assuming the bot left, it left because it's a recording bot that nobody used.
Relax, I can just reinstall it, no problemo.
Yeah, it can be reinstalled very, very easily, so it really isn't an issue. The thing there is, though, that we don't really need it because we're using Hangouts again for that stuff.
Yeah, it's just a little weird.
Yeah, you're just doing it for my channel. Like I said, I'd bring roleplay, and I'm bringing a werewolf game from another dude's channel that I just met about 5 minutes prior.
Oh, and then there's that. My channel gets hit with its first community guidelines strike.
Apparently, Walks with Wind is not safe for the community.
No, I don't think you had anything to do with that, man. I don't think you had anything to do with it. But yeah, where I was gonna go, we started up the werewolf campaign, and I actually met some good guys. I met Forrest, I met Roz, I met Clay, I met you guys.
Well,
even though
thank you.
Yeah, and even though we've gained and lost some people, like I don't know, there's still a decent amount of people still in the
Yeah, it's still good.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Well, we still get a decent amount of players, and we still get a decent amount of people who are still in the Discord. So, no, actually, this is for my first Discord. Also, actually, did not. This is actually pretty good.
Yeah, my goal is to reach like rank 3, and then we do like an apocalypse game. We're all rank 6 and just badasses, and we fight the worm.
That would be fun.
Yep, and then I left.
Relax, Walter's still in the pack.
Well, yeah. Well, so is Rose.
Sort of. I don't know.
Yeah, they're just at the Karen. They're like
NPC'd.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if we need
Speaking
extra,
of
like basic,
speaking of Rose, so I got called by Bard earlier today, which was the
Ooh.
call, Briz, that I had to leave our talk for that we were just having a while back.
Yeah, Dylan, before you keep going, how much of this is stuff you're okay with putting out on air?
All of it. I brought it up.
Okay.
All right.
I'm just gonna say, dude, if any drama results from this, I'm gonna.
We discussed the efficacy of deleting porn from a website we are not on.
Oh. Okay then.
Yeah.
How can you do that when you don't even mod the website?
What is he talking? Okay, now I need the context.
We talked about the Tumblr porn thing. We're not on Tumblr. This is YouTube. And that's porn. And there were no strikes. There were no flags. I'm talking about this.
Okay.
So, this guy Bard, I will not use his real name for his privacy. This guy Bard.
We just call him Bard anyway.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that too. But I'm saying, dude obviously has an actual name.
I know, and I just call him Bard because it's simpler to remember.
Yeah.
Let's just keep going.
So, Bard, he's the guy that introduced me to werewolves, so I owe a lot to him. Without him, I wouldn't have met you.
Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple.
Mm-hmm.
He seemed a pretty chill dude, a little bit hyper, but I'm okay with that. It was cool to meet somebody from England, yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fun. So I played with him and stuff, and exclusively because he was the only werewolf guy I knew.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so I've got him for a while, and then this buddy of mine who was in that first game, William, he's gonna run a game and stuff, and then I see the difference in play, in storytelling styles. So Bard, he's got a story, and he does not like deviation from that story, and he also considers, because of things with D&D that he's encountered, I think he believes any form of talking outside of a game is automatically just always going to be metagaming. He wants you to be excited, but he drops all sorts of hints or just outright says a whole lot of things that you just shouldn't be able to know. A great example would be when a paladin I was playing just saw an elder an outer god, like an eldritch horror in a game, and that was just a thing that he saw. Like, drop, this will be a thing in like 15 levels. You're level 2. And I'm like,
actually, we're level 3, and I know what game
you're
this
level
is.
3, but yeah, let's drop. You're level 3, and in like 15 levels, this will be a thing. And I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, that was the game where he was like dropping Eldritch abominations at us like right off the bat. Like, I figured he was going to let us like warm into it.
And that's what we had literally told him to do. It was like, let us fight zombies, let us fight skeletons, let us fight fucking bandits. Maybe when we reach level 5, maybe you have a goat with tentacles or something that's going to be a little bit weird or something. Like, slowly sprinkle it in. And No.
Well, I'm playing Wild West with him. In our first campaign, we've already been corrupted by the Wern.
Wow.
What?
We've got level 1 fucking worm corruption.
The fuck? Wow. I mean, like, I don't consider myself to be that good of a DM, and that's only just because.
Oh, I like your DMing style. I like your DM style because you let me get away with crazy shit.
Yeah, but Bard lets you get away with crazy shit too. You just gotta make it sound cool.
Well, but look,
Yeah, well,
let me
basically
play-
what
let me
happened is
play
like the
a
alpha of our
where-
pack fucking left,
Yeah,
and now my Shadow Lord Ragabash has to be in charge, and he has shit charisma and shit leadership, but he has to be in charge of this pack of random fucks.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
I'm just saying. I mean, like, I don't know if I'm really that good, just because. I mean, about the only seems like the only reason why it works out for you guys is because I just let you guys. I have a vague outline of what I want, of what the story's going to be, but I more or less let you guys just do what you want.
You
from what I've
allow-
heard.
You allow us the illusion of sandbox with an outlined story, which is very hard to pull off on purpose.
Really?
Yeah,
I just did shit that just seemed.
because you did shit that seemed cool. Exactly.
You pulled a GTA, and that's great.
No, I mean, like, the way I'm putting it is just like the way I saw it. It was kind of what kind of influenced my thinking was a Razor Fist video where he was talking about the difference between how Julian Jensen used to program Elder Scrolls games and how Todd Howard does them. And he said, like, okay, with Julian Jensen, he was doing stuff like he basically was the director for Arena and Daggerfall. Todd Howard takes over after around Morrowind, and everything else afterward is him.
Mm-hmm.
Now the difference is that he said the computer is essentially a DM, and it should be hands off. Like, there should be a story, but more or less the goal is that the player should be in control.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, which is why, like, the way he put it is with, like, Daggerfall, the game asked you what your character was, whereas Morrowind told you what your character was. Because in Morrowind, like, you do know, like, the whole big backdrop of the story is your character is the fucking what was it called again? Did anyone play Morrowind?
It's been a while since Morrowind.
Briss said it. What was it, Briss? Nerevarine. And your character has to be that, and you've got no option to not be that. Whereas in Daggerfall, you can literally be whatever you want.
Yeah.
I like the part
You were in Arena too.
Well,
I like the part last session where Raz recommended that we actually, like, try and take on the entire police station.
And then we were just like, no, that's not needed. Stop.
Actually, Brett, how many cops were in that police station minus my kinfolk?
If we're talking about a fully staffed, let's see, average amount of staff for a average staff amount.
The random shit we make you look up for our questions stuff, you must be on some kind of watch list.
Let's see. Let's see. It says average officers per population is 10,000. Blah 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 blah. No. I'm trying to get. Let's just. Okay, I don't know if it's a major city. It's Seattle. Probably had to be somewhere in the triple digits.
Okay, so let's lowball and say 100 then. So including your kinfolk, lowballing 100. Talk with Minims here. There were 100 officers, perhaps not all on call, but all working at the police station.
Yeah, I mean, like a whole werewolf pack taking on 100 police officers, not a good idea.
I just love it. He's just like, oh wait, there's 6 of us. We could take on the entire pack, including Ivar. I'm just like, really?
Well, that was his character. That was, well, you gotta remember that wasn't Raz. That was Kulls. Which is
yeah.
Raz
is like, yeah, no, they've got a lot of guns, and we just feel like lethal from that. We can still die from a bullet.
Well, enough bullets.
Yeah, but because let me put it to you this way: only last week, not even last week, but like 2 days, 2 days ago, because it was on Saturday, I was in a game, and the only reason I don't use this sword more often until now is because it does lethal damage in Werewolf, and we fight a lot of shape-shifty creatures. I've still, in the first combat we ever did, I still killed back to back to back to back four like were-rats, just chopping heads off with this great sword of mine that does lethal, not aggravated, and stuff, which is totally soakable. And in part of it is just luck of the dice and things, but like a bullet or a stream of bullets from like a machine gun and stuff, that can put enough holes into a werewolf to kill them.
Yeah, like even if you can absorb damage per turn, if they out damage your regeneration, then you're gonna die.
Exactly. Like that. That is why lethal is still lethal. If like all three damage types exist for humans and for everything else. Like vampires are one of the most special ones because they soak specifically bullets like bludgeoning. That's one of the more special cases when it comes to like soaking damage and healing.
Well, they're dead flesh, so
exactly, and that's why.
Yeah. You know what? That's always something that I find interesting. That lethal is less damaging than aggravated in World of Darkness.
Right. Well, you can have a potentially lethal wound, and then you can aggravate the wound further.
Okay, it's more like it's more that aggravated is stacking damage on top of damage.
Yeah, that's basically how you can look at it. Like there's deep cuts, and then there's to the bone. You know, it's just like a wound on a wound, basically. It's how you can think of aggravated.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like all the progress we've made with the campaign, and well, the stuff I've kind of picked up on learning, I've picked up through osmosis playing with you guys. Like that's actually been a good experience. And
yeah, I'm just quite surprised for my first werewolf character that I'm already like a few sessions in, and I'm nearly rank 3. I'm nearly rank 2.
Yeah. And that's just because you're a Theurge, and you've done. While there has not been much combat, there's been a lot of just role play opportunities that provide wisdom or honor.
Yeah, that's kind of what the essence of World of Darkness games is. It's more about the role playing than the action. They're not.
Excuse you. Okay.
These are not combat heavy games like D&D, man.
No. Okay. You're right and you're wrong. So you're right because the game you have created is not very combat heavy. But you're wrong because every werewolf cares about how much shit they kill. It just varies how much they care about it.
No. Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, I do remember seeing one video by a guy who sort of said like Werewolf the Apocalypse is about as close as you could get to like a high fantasy game in World of Darkness.
Yeah, because it arguably deals the most with spirits and evil forces.
Yeah.
There are spirits of a whole bunch of fantasy creatures. There's a spirit of the Manticore. There's a spirit of dragons, specifically green dragons, but green dragon. There's, every spirit can talk to you so long as you at least have the gift, or if it's strong enough. So.
Yeah. Also, I can just give them gnosis so they like me.
Yeah. Plus, yeah, and every werewolf, regardless of your auspice, which in D&D terms is a more roleplay heavy class and stuff, like everyone is a spellcaster.
And to one degree or another.
Yeah, all of them have gnosis, which means they all learn gifts. So all of those gifts take advantage of your things that you can spend, rage, gnosis, or willpower. So you are all spellcasters. Pizza. Yay, pizza. I have vegan pizza.
But yeah, I mean, like, I'm just.
Oh yeah, Dylan, weren't you gonna say that what we're gonna do with Rose?
Oh yeah. So I was talking to Bard, I got into that whole tension with Bard. So earlier today, I was talking with Bard, and basically he was just saying, Happy New Year and stuff. And I was saying, Happy New Year. Hope the baby's doing okay, stuff. Because one of the reasons why he left is stress from his baby. It turns out that his kid, perhaps the stress of birth or something on the actual baby made it take a shit. And since it's an infant and has barely any immune system defense, it got sick on its date of birth.
Holy crap! That's awful.
And has been in a hospital and got out pretty much in time for Christmas. And I was like, wow, that's really lucky, and that's really amazing timing as far as getting better and stuff. I hope he stays okay.
Yeah. Oh man, dude, that's just. I mean, dude, that's still kind of scary. I mean, I mean,
I try being the one who had to read out his rant on Discord because he's playing a game. He's playing a D&D game with us. Well, not at the moment because he's busy with the kids. So we've kind of his character's just is gone for now. Try reading that on Discord, and he was going on and on about Jack and stuff, and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, granted, that was a little bit ago.
That was
So he had talked about some of his reasons for leaving. Some of them was had to do with Raz, with how rule lawyer he is, and other times was because I'm talked over so much, and because when we play, it's fairly. I think with his time zone, I believe it's just fairly late.
Yeah, it's chaotic to say the least.
So his family is usually trying to sleep, and sometimes he has to yell. Sometimes on purpose because it's a role play reason, but sometimes just to be heard. So there are reasons as far as that why he kind of needed to leave, and then again, there's the baby stressor and things like that. So, and we had a very civil discussion about this, and I was like, all right, you have a problem with the rule lawyering. That's kind of just how Raz works, and I can understand why you are upset by it, because it does, as you said, wreck the flow of the game and stuff, and this and that. Mm-hmm. And I do think that most of the time it could be saved till after the session. Maybe Raz could make a note and say, "Hey, Brett, here are the rules we broke this session and stuff. They're not the biggest deal." Mm-hmm. So I didn't mention them, but you can correct yourself.
I do find it a little annoying as well, but it's most of the stuff, it's not major.
Yeah, and here's the thing:
unless we're breaking major rules, then
that was actually something I brought up. I was like, this is also Brett's first ever werewolf game or World of Darkness game in general. On top of that, he didn't play first; he just jumped into DMing it. Mm-hmm. So a rule lawyer, or 7 even, is lovely for him, because any mistake he makes, he doesn't end up making it 80 to 100 homebrew rules, because he doesn't understand 80 to 100 things. He's told the actual rules of those things, so he knows them. That's an invaluable tool. So while I will agree, and while I will agree that the rules lawyering can be grading, because it happens every session, or almost every session without fail.
Yeah. That should be another meme comic. We have What's the Difficulty with Lexington and Walks of Wind, and then we have a thing with Coles the Herd, with a character doing something, and then Coles the Herd says, Brett, you can't do that.
God, you can't do this. But I'm God. You can't do it. Fine.
According to his rulebook, and you're gonna have Coles the Herd with a red telling tribe book.
Oh God!
I can't read this, but you're breaking the rules.
He's got feelings right here. Objection.
If we ever do that fucking fan art thing, Coles the Herd has to have the rules book underneath his paw.
No, instead of the skull, it's the tribe book. According to page 8, according to chapter 3, page 80,
Okay, we go.
Paragraph 3.
Yeah.
Sentence 2.
Yeah. I'm gonna knit. Yeah, I'll be the first to admit that me DMing my first game, not the smartest idea.
But it has made a fun game because while you don't know everything, you're also very loose.
Yeah.
So you allow for us to do more things, which also allows you to learn from your mistakes. Jaws of Venom.
Yeah. Though Forrest and I try to build up a badass boss, and you guys DM him like a. I mean, you guys one-shot him like a bitch.
We also one-shotted Krampus as well, because remember, rage actions.
I know, but at least that time it felt like you earned it.
Yeah, like we one turned to him. That's a big difference.
Yeah.
We one turn.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. It was Trish who like killed him.
Yeah. With Jaws of Venom, it was first turn, and it wasn't even a rage action. I just punched him.
Yeah, like I said, you guys at least earned that victory.
Yeah. So what about Rose?
Okay. So we're talking about that stuff, and we go through all that kind of things, and I'm like, we don't hate you. We didn't hate Zach, and we didn't hate Rose. Let me explain. So with Jack, I told him and stuff. I'm like, you felt like everyone was yelling at you and jealous of Jack when you really didn't need to, because you were quite literally making shit up when you said I can go from rank 1 to 3, because that breaks things on 3 different fronts. That breaks the mechanics of the game, the lore of the game, and the rules of the game. Mechanics and rules can sometimes be different, so that's why there's those 3 fronts.
Where was Raz when this was happening exactly?
And saying it too when I was talking with him, not with me, but I was explaining it to him today and stuff. When this was happening in a moment, just with us, just the same. So I said, you have to be rank 2 at least for 5 minutes so that you could do a rank 3 challenge. There's no way for you to go from 1 to 3. That goes against multiple rule sources, to the point where that if Brett says you can go from 1 to 3, he has completely shattered the game.
Quick question: did he have the renown for it though?
He did. What had happened was he was waiting on 1 temp glory for the longest time, and his other stuff had allowed him to go up to rank 3 as long as he got that 1 temp glory.
Yeah.
But like I said, you have the renown for it. You still got to be rank 2 first.
Well,
Yeah.
Brett, you could have just done this. You're now rank 2. Time skip to next week. Now time for your rank 3 challenge.
Yeah, what we ended up doing was he did 2 challenges during the same moot. That's what we did. And that's what we were going to do anyway.
Isn't that worth extra renown if you've ranked up twice?
I don't know. And I honestly don't want to think about it, just because like some stuff
because not many people if you go up to rank 3 during your first time, that's actually pretty good.
Well, that's what Trish is doing. She's got 1 temp glory, and then she is good to be rank 3, and then some.
All I need is 2 more wisdom, and I can be rank 3 as well.
Yeah. Like,
quick question. Who are the rank 2s that aren't part of our pack? Because I want to challenge a rank 2.
The ranks that would either
that's Lily
and Ivar.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I won't challenge Lily because she's my ally, and even though rank 2, they're supposed to test you, not challenge you.
Also,
I feel like I'll probably go with Ivar.
Well, she's also a Galliard, and her job is to be the keeper of the land. She's literally the gardener.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if she's going to test me for rank 2, it'd be incredibly easy. I'm going to go with Ivar because he'll probably come up with something interesting.
Yeah.
Name 87 different types of plants and or flowers.
Yeah. Or at least go on a quest for this one particular flower.
Yeah. And and I'm going to say something, I'm going to backpedal a little bit. In there have been times where I've learned a whole lot of new things. Like I learned that there's such a thing. Like I learned what an unwinnable challenge really means in one of Bard's games. So I had a character, Bio knows about her, and Brett knows about her. It's my Silver Fang Ariana.
Yes, that one. The Smiling Jack story.
Yeah, the Smiling Jack story. So she was always threatened by this guy for like supremacy of the pack.
Mhm.
And so I basically said, like, dude, you are literally the easiest to kill because you refuse to shift. Shut up. You know, you are not a factor in any fight. Yeah, you're peak physicals. Neat. You're the easiest thing to kill ever because you refuse to shift. If you challenge me, because I am not stupid and I'm not going to challenge you, you challenge me for pack supremacy, I'm going to make it something that you just that you physically can't win at. And I was speaking out of character. And then I was told by another player, Soma, you know, that guy that wanted to play at one point before he realized, oh, I can't join in. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I was hoping he would be a Metis because then we'd have a more balanced
He plays
pack.
only. But she had fake eyes. I don't think Brett knew this part.
I don't think I did. This is new to me.
So her deformity was she was born without eyes. And in her backstory, through hanging out with glasswalkers and stuff, she gets a fetish. Those fetish are eyes that, you know, fucking work.
Oh, so you got like cybernetic eyes. Oh, that's awesome.
No, they weren't cybernetic. They gained cybernetics because there's only one spirit, but it worked for both eyes. So I had another spirit put into the other eye. And so
it's like cybernetics. Like that's how I'm
and that gave her like a new version of Senseworm, because in the setting we were in, you couldn't use Senseworm, but there was these cameras that would take pictures of worm taint. So I basically had a video camera eyeball that could see worm taint.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
I like Bard's World of Darkness.
I didn't need to use the actual role of Senseworm. I would just say I am activating worm sight, you know, as I called it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it is really cool. But because her eyes are fake, this is what Soma told me. Because her eyes are fake and she physically doesn't need to blink to specific, like that is an unwinnable challenge on that guy's part, because you physically don't need to blink. You do it so you don't freak people out. So if my character has repeatedly for like minutes at a time stopped blinking because she forgets to, so it's very easy for her to be like, okay, I'm just not going to blink for 6 hours.
Elder vampires also have the same problem, because they forget, because vampires can breathe and blink. They just don't have to. Like it's more like a reflex.
Not even a reflex, because it's reflexive to blink. It's reflexive to breathe.
Well, it's not just that. It's also like it's like a subroutine in your computer.
Yeah, and it's a subroutine on that. So when you die and become a vampire, it's not a subroutine anymore. It's a subroutine that turns off.
Yeah. So I used the wrong word for it. It's like you can do it. It's just you have to do it. You have to do it purposefully.
Yeah.
If Forrest hit me up. He wants to jump into. I'll send him the link.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, so it was really cool. Go ahead and send the link. But the point was, I was like, we were not jealous of Jack. We were telling you that you can't do something. You got pissy, switched to what we said in your head, and got mad about it and stayed mad about it. And then I said, now let's talk about Rose. Rose, we did not hate Rose. She fucked up in roleplay and made animosity. That could have been worked through and was going to be worked through if you continued to play Rose. But you left. And there are multiple reasons why. Hey, Forrest.
Hey, guys.
I'm currently in a story and stuff, but I'll let you join in afterwards, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, I tell him like, we didn't hate Rose. Rose was suffering from new kid on the block syndrome, and new players showed up shortly after you, which meant they were and are. So that would be Walks with Wind and Walter. Are suffering from new kid on the block syndrome as well.
Mhm.
You and he was saying, he was saying like Rose has no point to her at all, and I'm like bullshit. And I was like, and you said this, so bullshit. The first real session you have, so the session right after you've been introduced, we encounter fucking Jaws of Venom, and I'm able to one-shot him because you gave me like 6 extra dice, lowered his dice by his entire dice pool for anything he does, including dodging and soaking, by 3, and made it impossible for him to take actions. Rose is incredibly valuable. It's just you got to do that once, and then because of actual life things, we didn't really play too much, and it was slowed down again, because that's how this game kind of goes when it comes to combat. It's very sudden and a lot of the ultimate support character, exactly, Forrest. And Arun.
Yeah. Then you have Coles the Herd bringing out his tribe book, and saying, "God, you can't do that. Wait."
No, but when that entire thing with Rose, Raz didn't say a damn thing because Bard did his fucking homework. I didn't tell Bard that part because I felt like he knew that part, but I suppose I could have. The point is, I told him like that, like, you left of your own volition. I can't change that.
Also, we're down a Galliard, so
We're down a Philodox.
I thought Rose was a Galliard.
Yeah.
She's a Galliard, yeah.
Oh.
Walter was the other Philodox, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But NPC Galliards, we just say we don't even need, like, the thing with an NPC that becomes an NPC, they become a non-factor because they just aren't there anymore to play their characters. So if you really feel like you need them, the DM takes control for 5 minutes, or you say, I go to Rose, tell my things, and have the rite of praise done on me. Because Rose also had the rite of praise. Rose did it for me, and at the moot that we had, I did not rank up because I didn't have the rank for it, or I didn't have the renown for it. I have since have the renown to become rank 3, but this only worked until this last moot. I had like another extra 15 dice to any social anything I did ever for an entire month.
God damn.
Because of what happened with Jaws of Venom. Rose is a warrior's best friend, and Arun's, like, if that amnesiated 4'3" woman would have made a kinfolk very, very, very happy.
I'm not surprised. Well, I'm just surprised that why couldn't he just keep with Jack?
He didn't. Because he thought that we hated Jack and were jealous of Jack when we weren't. And his original goal with Jack anyway was for him to be rank 3, and then he could move on.
Yeah, I kind of got like the sense like he was getting bored of him anyway.
Yeah, he was saying, like, I feel like some of it was lies because of the I feel like everyone hates my character thing. But I can't prove anything, so
yeah. So we won't say one way or the other.
Yeah.
I didn't know his character. I thought Jack was cool.
That's nice. Yeah.
There were character things that I had said while Jack wasn't around and stuff that still matter to my character. You know, not on the date, but when Lexington and Trish went and saw his mom, and then afterwards became a couple because we went and had ice cream. One of the things I said, like, the most sane out of all of you, out of all the men, is you. And then I said, like, my issues with the other guys. Like, let's assume for 5 minutes I'm a kinfolk, or that the whole thing with Metis isn't a thing. Coles is a dog. I'm not into that. I think of Runs with Papers as a uncle because he's older than me, and is a septmate from a different sept. Jack terrifies me because he actually seems like someone that would create a Metis with or without my consent. And then you're actually sane.
Oh man, I gotta admit that's just funny. Yeah. Okay, just to get you up to speed for us, we're kind of the theme of this week's episode is, because it's New Year's, we're reflecting on what we did in 2018.
Anyway.
Oh man, we're gonna do today.
So Forrest, we got this cool idea for like a comic book for this werewolf game we're playing. There's one skit where the rest of the players are going to do something, and then Coles or Runs with Papers, they like burst out of nowhere with like their tribe books and says like, Brett, no.
Okay.
I was gonna say though, I mean,
I will say this real quick. Sorry to interrupt again. I promised Brett I'd tell you, or not. I told Bard I would tell you, Brett. I explained why you blocked him.
I didn't block him.
You said, yeah, you blocked him.
Did I? I didn't think I did.
No, you blocked him.
Wow, if I did, that was by accident then.
No, you didn't. You didn't. It was not by accident. I told you what he was saying after he left, and you're like, yeah, no, he's blocked now. But that's neither here nor there. He has said, like, I'm willing to talk and stuff, and I'm like, bro, the reason that you were blocked by, like, half, if not the majority of the players other than myself.
I didn't block him.
I said the majority. I said, that's fair. But, like...
The dude's my DM for Wild West. Why would I block him? I like Bard's Word of Darkness. He's letting me have a lightning sword.
A lightning sword.
All right, then. Well, what I'm getting at is the reason Brett and Claylix, at minimum, because it was the ones I know for a fact did, blocked you, was because you literally broke their hearts. They were your friend. They were your friends, and you said nothing about why you left, and then when I tore the information out of you, you blamed them for things they didn't do.
I don't know. I mean, like, I figured he was just kind of done and he wasn't going to come back. So I didn't see any point.
Hey, Brett, I've got a great idea. If Bard doesn't come back, I've got a great idea how we can solve the Rose problem. We can have Rose, Walter, and Skipping Moon guard North Dakota.
That's not bad. But yeah.
Remember, Skipping Moon is the Theurge I cucked.
Yeah.
Although I guess if it's out in the open, I don't hold any ill will towards the guy.
Yeah. Point is I told him I'd tell you. He's totally willing to talk at any time. It's just he physically can't.
Yeah, like I said, like, I got nothing against him. in spite of any difficulties we had.
Like, I think Runs with Papers would have ended up killing him though, or his character Jack.
Yeah.
He almost did.
Yeah.
Shit. Forrest, kind of speaking from experience, I mean, like, it seems like you really gotta know how to separate yourself from your character, because it's I don't want to put words in Bard's mouth, because, like, I don't know, I'm not gonna put words in Bard's mouth, so I'm not gonna attribute this to him, but it seems like there are certain people, like, they feel like when their character's being attacked, it might be an attack on them when it's not.
That is a thing just with players in
general. Oh yeah,
so.
I understand what you're saying completely. Yeah. The problem was that he triggered Runs when he beat on that kinfolk.
Yeah,
definitely. Well,
Yeah.
let's not.
and that was a mess and a half. Fucking
Originally, I didn't know that he did that. I was like, I was just fine. But then everybody, like, I met up with you guys, and I was like, what has he done wrong?
yeah. And then we told you, and he basically had the explanation of like, I didn't know what was going on because I came into the session late, which is not a fucking excuse. It's not a fucking excuse, especially since your character was, popcorned along through the scenes up to that point, and then you joined late. So then your character had a brain all of a sudden. Your character still fucking heard everything. We said that to him, like, in that moment when we were like, because that was when we were going to throw him out and stuff. Like, we were like, dude.
Are you talking about me or...
No, we're talking about when we were going to throw Bard out a while back.
Well, can you actually speak to this actually having happened before? Like, you have players in a group where they just take like attacks on their characters way too personal.
Oh, all the time.
Of course.
So I got a horror story. Her name is Alpha Wolf. You know her, Brett.
Used to talk to her, don't much these days.
Yeah, I remember.
I wonder why.
I remember. Yeah. So she, in a different context and without playing games with her, she probably would have been a friend of mine. We have a lot in common, and it's kind of freaky. I won't get into the specifics, but yeah.
She's basically female you.
Yeah, like that's like the easiest way to explain it is female me, but also a female me, therefore way harder to get, like, to be nice to people. Not to be rude to women, but it's like she was a bitch and was like the opposite of me on that regard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and say Runs. I think Runs is way more clever than I am personally. Like,
isn't he like fucking murder hobo Silent Snake?
Yeah, I know, right? He thinks stuff I don't begin to think of. I'm like, what the hell? Being in that mind frame, it reminds me of being in my Black Spiral Dancer. Like, they're the werewolves are up against a lot more than us.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you're a Black Spiral Dancer? Eat him.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I mean, I have an NPC, a Black Spiral NPC. I call Gangrene, and if I put myself in his mind, he like, you have to have no reserve on your humanity because he's just so damn sadistic and insidious. Like, and he loves putting people into like a position where they'll challenge him physically, and he can claim their hide. He could kill. Like, I don't know if I've told you about this character, guys. I know, tell Brett.
So this is the Black Spiral that's supposed to be like in the pack of spirals that we're gonna fight, right?
Yeah. No. This is a different guy. This is a different guy. Force me. It's his whole shtick is that he's a duelist, right?
Yeah, and what he does is he takes a wrecking bar. He has like a modified wrecking bar wrapped in cub skin, and when he finishes the challenge and when he beats them, like, he tears the skin off their body with that wrecking bar, kicking and screaming. Like, he likes to see the fear in their eyes. Like I said, like, if you have any kind of humanity, any kind of reserve, you don't need to play him. He's not somebody that's good to get into the mindset of. And Runs with Papers, he has like he's way more clever than I am. Also, he does get triggered, but to be fair, to be a bow gnawer, you sort of have to come in with thick skin anyways, because you're gonna get looked down upon,
Oh, so you're a rank 3 murder hobo.
So
you're in a rune, dude. You're in a rune. You got the most rage of any auspice.
Yeah.
And I have the most rage you can have.
Well, what I'm saying is, like,
you've got 10 rage, and so whenever you get extra rage, you're just transcending.
You should be expected to be looked down upon, like, if you're a bow gnawer. So as Runs with Papers, I expect it. I expect to be talked to, with a certain nature and demeanor. You know what I mean? Like, Runs gets it. Like, there's a social hierarchy to the tribes.
Yeah, and Wolves of Wind just treats you like a regular alpha of the pack.
Mhm.
Well, I don't think runs should get regular respect. A couple of things. No matter who is alpha, whoever is alpha, they should always be challenged. That's the key.
Yeah, the issue though is that we like you, and you've outright said, "Yeah, no, if Ron's never challenged, it's just a fight to the death."
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's a fight because this is the way he is.
well, yeah, and that's within character. But we're like, but we like runs. If we were to challenge him over something, we don't want to fucking kill him. We just want to, make him see sense, and that will be what. Like, if for some reason we had to make him see sense about something, that will be what we challenge him over. We don't want to fucking kill him in our attempt to fucking.
Do we have to kill him?
sense.
Can we just like wound him heavily, and then take him to the Cairn of Healing, and it's just like, yeah, I'm alpha now.
But yeah, just like I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of. But yeah, bringing it back to my original points, like if you're gonna role play, you gotta know how to separate yourself from your character.
Why do you think I play Walks of Wind? He's completely different from who I am in real life.
Well, I mean, like in real life, I would just run, or I would be really sneaky about it.
Yeah, and
you remember when I went looking for Ellie, Brett?
Oh yeah,
I'm sneaky. I don't tell anybody except like my bestest, closest friends, and I get a real sick game plan going, And I'm not going to confront them like face to face. I'm going to go looking, like I'm going to go prowling for them. Runs doesn't do that. Runs hits things face on, like he is forward in your face, because he's like seeing like a little bit of Garu society now, and he understands that this is the way they settle shit.
Yep.
Garu,
Now,
I think if you don't challenge to the death, you're really playing werewolves down, because they are brutal, savage beasts. They are crazy,
Yeah. Honestly, it seems like if you're closer to any of the tribes, you're more like a Shadow Lord, to be honest, Forrest.
Yeah, I think in like real life, I would be a Shadow Lord.
I've always wanted to see like a fucking Romanian Silent Snake as a pack leader.
And I was gonna say, like, we also know for a fact Dylan is not a chick.
Also, she's a Black Fury. Like if her character had kept her tribe, which is Black Fury, I think her relationship with Walks of Wind would be very interesting, because I think Black Furies or Children of Gaia get along.
It depends.
Yeah, it kind of depends. Like they don't dislike the children, but
yeah. So out the gate, let's assume because I actually played with a guy in my first ever game. Again, I first played World Darkness with a Bard. First ever game, I played a Black Fury because I was like, "Fuck it, it's a role playing game. I want tits, and fuck it, I like the punch thing, so I'll be the warrior thing. And since I made a woman away, I'll be the all woman tribe. Why not? Just easy, go,
Uh-huh.
And William, the guy that I mentioned, like showed me how a competent story is done for World of Darkness later on. Yeah, exactly. I love bow gnawers because they can be savage as fuck. But
balling, you take 8 balling, and if you really want to know like just how brutal bow gnawers could be in a fight, you know what 8 balling? You get the concept that the 8 ball winds up in the victim's mouth, right? You know how they do that? They basically punch it into their mouth, like crack their teeth and make sure it stays in place.
Yeah,
it's humiliation. The bow gnawers are just as savage as any of the other warring tribes.
Exactly. But I digress. So this chick, obviously Black Fury, and William's playing a child of Gaia.
Mm-hmm.
His backstory says that he was Black Fury born, and his mom, before he even shifted, his mom gave him away to just away. She didn't even know who she really gave him to, just away. And so he was Black Fury born and child of Gaia raised. And that taught me, because he explained it to me, of course, that taught me that if a Black Fury has a male, and that male shifts, because males are rare but not impossible and then male kinfolk are needed to have a kid, you know, so they're still around. But if a male kinfolk of a Black Fury shifts, if they are not killed, they are thrown out. In his case, they didn't even give him the chance to see if he would shift. She was too prideful and said, "No, I will not have a boy. We're having try number 2. Get this thing out of here." Basically.
Wow.
Yeah, hardcore. That's what a lot of Black Furies do. It's hardcore. But that taught me that part of the connection to Child Gaia and Black Furies. So if Trish had a different backstory where she idolized her mom and stayed in her tribe and things like that, and then for some other reason, maybe a field trip, and then she just kind of stayed, or maybe they just moved something, and she ended up in the sept and things, and you came in, she would probably look at you. If I were to be harsh about it, she would look at you as a member of a hand-me-down tribe. If I were to be harsh about it, because
that is basically what Children of Gaia are. I mean, Bone Gnawers and Children of Gaia are literally like the hand-me-down tribes.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Except so she's not even, I've got 3 dots in purebred, so if you were to challenge me on it, my purebred blood would shine through.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be a challenge. It would be a statement. I'd be like, you are from a hand-me-down tribe that takes in unworthy in an attempt to make them feel better. You know?
And then Walks of Wind would reply, "At least we don't throw out the men. At least we don't judge people on gender."
True.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. True. It's just like, you know, that's also something I kind of want to touch on. Something I kind of appreciate about Werewolf the Apocalypse is like, when you break it down, this is not a politically correct game.
Oh no,
not in the slightest.
Nuh-uh.
Like,
well, also Walks of Wind is a lupus, so to him it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, like for
also
one, like,
of Gaia.
Well, yeah, that. But
women, they're sexist as fuck.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And the Wendigo, they're made up of Native Americans. They're fucking racist.
Of course, because they're angry natives. Of course, they're fucking racist.
Actually, how much purebred would Trish have if she was still with the Black Furies?
Well, okay. So because I made a Bonar that went away from her tribe, that's technically she would have 0 because it was never on her sheet. Because you can't have a Bonar that has it. So, and when you shift tribes, you lose the social benefits, not the mating benefits, but the social benefits.
I know the social benefits, but like, if you did, what would she have?
If I were to be honest, considering that I said her father and her mother are both very much Black Furies, and then when I made her actual sheet, I gave her mom like 4 purebred, I'd have to say that at minimum her father would match, and therefore she would have 4. If not, if not 4, she would have max. She would be Greek as hell. Like, yeah, that is why she looks very Grecian, because her genetics show what she is, but her social standing contradicts.
Actually, the funny thing of Walks of Wind is with that picture I sent you, actually notice that dude's got a bit more like tender, like not white skin.
And you can explain it away very easily. The dude was a dog, therefore he didn't know what clothes were all the time. Therefore, he got a nice tan.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think Children of Gaia are descended from.
They're descended from. Let's see. The homeland is supposed to be.
Their ancient homeland was Sumeria, but it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, which doesn't exist anymore. But that means that a 5 purebred Child of Gaia member is Sumerian.
Well, my dude's American, but maybe he's got a bit of Sumerian in him. Like maybe you can see it.
I don't know. It's more. I don't know. I mean, like Sumerians. They were like Sumeria was like in the Middle East, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So like a purebred Child of Gaia would be Middle Eastern looking, right?
Yeah, a little bit I would probably say a little bit like little bit more like a Muslim, not like a Egyptian.
Muslim is a religion, not a.
You know what I mean? But like someone from
Middle Eastern.
Middle Eastern, as in like someone who would practice.
Are you talking like Arab or Persian?
Not Arab. Okay, I would probably say Persian. The reason Persian is because the Arabic nations such as like Egypt and stuff.
Allahu Akbar, religion of peace.
Egyptians and stuff, they are, silent striders and stuff. They're jackals. So for you to say that I am Egyptian is inaccurate unless you had a good explanation.
Yeah.
Also, if I was like the original concept I was going to go in with this game is I was going to play like as a Regabash who like sneaks into the planes and blows them up.
Yeah, it's just more like what I've kind of got in my head though is like if you're gonna say Persian, then that means like like the Iranians would be close to the children of Gaia kinfolk or something.
What about showing throat?
Okay, so also if someone shows throat to runs, you remember his fight with Ivar?
Oh yeah, I remember.
He'll consider honorable surrender. He has to because he obeys.
That's in the litany.
Yeah. He obeys the litany, so if someone shows throat, he won't kill them,
Shows throat or shows.
And he honestly expects that people, that other werewolves do the same. It means submission. It's like werewolf with submission.
Yeah.
You show your neck, so you show your vulnerable spot. You say it's saying I surrender. You can kill me anytime.
Oh shit! It's already past 8.
Because I wanted to cap this off by saying like the bet. Like aside from building the campaign with you guys, honestly, probably one of the and getting my new PC, probably one of the best things to happen to me all year was actually getting the opportunity to make my own comic and even get signed to a publisher. Because this is shit. If you had told me I'd be doing this 10 years ago, I wouldn't have believed you.
Yeah.
Don't worry, there's tons of shit I'm doing now that I wouldn't believe if I was being told this.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, like this is.
You just have to remember to publish the Rage and Casadenia comic, okay? We'll find dedicated artists.
It'll just be stick figures. It's fine.
I've been wanting to work on blacksmithing a lot more lately, but you know what? That's like my regret of the year. That I need to get to blacksmith more. But it's been raining, things like that. I smith outside, so. Except for some leather woodwork.
Yeah, but dude, I mean, like I'm getting to live out a dream I've had since I was a teenager.
Yeah, way to go, Brett.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, you can make merchandise comic books.
So it's
like,
not
what's
the thing I'm
difficulty?
proudest of, but it was one of the funnier moments of recent history. I got you to eat your hat.
You got me to attempt to eat my hat.
Huh?
What happened was my colorist Ginger. I made over Twitter, show me bad fan art of Maeve and I will eat my hat. And her boyfriend took that as a challenge.
And made some disgusting art.
Intentionally. It's good, but it's horrific.
Yeah.
We're
talking.
Hey Dylan, you didn't actually finish the Alpha Wolf story.
Oh.
I don't think it's...
yeah, we can finish it. Okay, so, Alpha Wolf. Terrible, terrible human being. So, she plays exclusively Black Fury, Lupus.
That's gonna be fun.
She'll change the auspice around, but she won't play Arun or Ragwadash. So she'll flip between the other 3. And unlike my very first character, Emily, as far as Black Furies go, she's a bitch. Like I figured out how to play a prideful character pretty quick and stuff, which I felt like played more into the Arun side of things. But I was very forgiving of men and things. And then some games later, you know, what basically happened was the first game I ever played with this person, because I attempted multiple games with her, just because they were all happening at the same time. I play a Black Fury Lupus Theurge, and she plays a Black Fury Lupus Philodox. And basically, the reason that they're both Black Furies, the reason they're both Lupus, is because they're from the same birth, but they're from very different hours. Basically, I was born first because Theurge's moon is before Philodox's moon, and then she was born after me, but it's within the same like 48 hours. The same litter. It was a long birth process, basically, is what that means. And that's how you can
that's cool.
That's how you can get multiple auspices, but in one litter. Last day of Theurge moon, first day of Philodox moon, kid happens that day. So yeah. But because of that, and because I did not know how to play Theurge, and I didn't really know how to play Lupus, I knew how to play Black Fury fine, obviously. But because 2 out of those 3, I basically was a second character that this person got to have, because I had to match 99% of her backgrounds. You know, pure breed, like pure breed, for example, I had to match that. Which is obviously highly restricting and dumb, and so that wasn't fun. And then we found out, like, after actually playing 1 or 2 games, that she has player 1 syndrome and is incredibly nosy and bossy on top of that. So what would happen is the game would start, and within 5 minutes, she's met all the players, done the task that was set for that player herself, and tries to showboat and things so that she can become the alpha. Here's why she has to become the alpha: because she physically can't handle not being in charge. Again, player 1 syndrome. There was a game where we had a fair vote, and we said, okay, X is alpha, and that person was not her. And that game session almost killed that entire campaign. We kicked her out. And we kicked her out for it and stuff, but there were 3 Lupuses. Yeah, the concept, because because the Lupuses weren't the most hardcore role players. They weren't like Raz Forest.
Yeah.
Where they, it took we just explain what voting is, and they're like, oh, okay. Like, for example, Sen, she was playing 1 of the 3 Lupuses. There was her playing a Wendigo Theurge, who was essentially my adoptive daughter and stuff, because of the backstory and how we were connected. And then she died, unfortunately, and so I went off. I was angry later on. And the other guy was another guy I know, Zach. Not the one in the server, Brett, but a different one. And he was playing a Silent Strider Lupus who used guns and actually had a horse. It was real fun. Yeah, those guys are cool guys. But those were the 3 Lupuses. We did a short explanation. I explained it in character to them and stuff, because Sen's character asked, and I was like, yeah, so voting means that you want, like, what we're voting for, I had already explained what voting is for who will be alpha of our pack based on what they've done. And she says that struck by talons, because that was my Wendigo's deed name, should be alpha because he gives food. because I had failed hunting during I had failed to hunt, and of course, Alpha took over and succeeded at that hunt and stuff. But she said like I should be Alpha because I bring food, because I have like 3 years of I bring food and make sure you, me, and my kinfolk speaks like spring eat. You know, boom, there you go. So her vote was for me, and then and we voted for other people and stuff, and someone who isn't me gets it. She said, and I quote, "I will try every day to dethrone you. Let me be Alpha." And we said, no.
God damn.
And actually, one of the other people had, out of pity, voted for her, and they rescinded their vote and made it
Was it a
unanimous.
female playing? Was it a female playing the Black Fury?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Alpha Wolf is a woman. That's why I said like
okay,
she's
like what? Okay.
Also, aren't
I'm gonna scroll through this
Black Fury
game.
Lupuses a bit more chill about the whole fem Nazi thing?
I
Not
don't
this
Those
know.
that play this game,
This-
and especially ones that play Black Furies.
So let me explain a little bit. So she's very much a feminazi, very very much, and
I happen to know that for a fact.
And so when she plays, she doesn't care that lupuses don't. They care about who's in charge. They will. A Black Fury will, at least begrudgingly, follow a strong alpha male if he proves he's tough shit.
Like the Get a Fenris.
Like the Get a Fenris,
They don't get voting.
because they are lupus, right? That's the whole point. A Black Fury lupus will follow a male if they prove they're tough shit. Right?
That's just all
I can
Lupuses.
see
That's like
that.
their hierarchy.
Right, but I'm saying that includes Black Fury.
But they also like tend to cuck their men, like for lack of a better word.
Yeah, and they do.
They turn them into like girls.
Yeah, they do. They are Amazonians.
So you have an entire
like, from
so you have an
Athens and
entire
stuff.
tribe of werewolves full of traps. Fascinating.
Okay, apparently Brett froze up. Anyway, that's basically the story. Is that she's not fun. She never was fun. She was terrible. That was like my biggest mistake. And stuff. I'll just bide time and stuff, and what we're going to wait.
Yeah,
for
you're
Brett
also going to
to
say
sign
something
off.
about Soma as well, of that like he exclusively plays blank, but I didn't hear it.
I said that a while ago. He exclusively plays Metis, so he would. So if he had played, yeah, we would have had new blood breathed in, and that there would have been a Metis involved.
Yeah, I would have liked that because that'd be cool. Because like one of the reasons why I picked Lupus is because I thought that like
We didn't. we
Well,
only had like one other. Like, yeah,
well I went with Lupus because it helps balance out the pack.
exactly. We only had one other Lupus once you joined in. Therefore, balances out the pack a little bit. Yeah, exactly. A lot of Hammond representation.
Yeah, because I like packs that are like mixed. They have lots of mixed breeds because it's
Like, guys, I wanted to tell you, like, I'm sorry if I overplayed that. I really didn't mean to, but I'm trying to play Runs' character. Like,
No, dude.
That's him.
Dude,
Yeah.
Runs is perfect. Like, the only thing you might have overdid in my mind ever, right, is and this isn't even Runs. This is when you tried to be Skipping Moon.
Oh, I admit I can't do a Native American voice. I can barely do Runs with Papers' voice. I'm terrible at voice
Yeah, I
acting.
know, that's what I'm saying. Like, the only one you overdid, and it was terrible because of that in my mind, was Skipping Moon.
now there's two Bretts.
Yeah, now there's two Brits, but that's okay. You can get rid of.
You got an extra copy of you in here, bro.
Okay, I will tell you right now, Brett, that's not how that works. If I eject copy Brett, you will be ejected as well. Yeah, there you go. So, time to sign off, I guess. Last words, everyone?
Happy New Year!
No.
Rank 2, here I come.
Yeah. Yeet.
Yeah, also we've got to make that comic book of what's the difficulty, and then Raz and runs of papers like dive bombing into it. Like I'm kind of imagining is that like I'm about like one of the characters is about to do something, and then like runs, like comes in Krynos, and you got like Coles and Hispo, like bursting out, like bursting in, and they got
Brett,
like the try books. It's like no, you can't, Brett.
Brett, are you actually here?
All right.
That has to be a comic. Like I'm just thinking
Oh,
of like
no.
homeless fucking silent snag, and you've got like this